Auntie Nana woke up around 2:30 a.m. to see Nenna weeping. She walked up to her, sat behind Nenna and leaned her to her shoulder. Nenna let out a loud cry. Auntie Nana thought it was her usual worry, but the manner at which Nenna was weeping made her question what the problem was. Nenna was 2 weeks to her EDD. Throughout her pregnancy, Nenna was living in depression and regret, but this time, it was more like anxiety, because she knew that her chance of surviving was 50-50, since she received poor medical care despite her age. Nenna was just 15. You wonder how? It was Pikolo. Pikolo was a nickname given to one Mr. Emeka. Pikolo was the only child of his parents. He was everything to them because the couple waited for 15 years before they had Pikolo. Out of joy and gratitude, his parents overpampered him. He was given everything he requested. He always had his ways with his decisions. Nobody questions him in his family. He was jobless, always moving with area boys, from one building site to another to collect illegal commission from engineers. Pikolo was known to have many appalling characters. He was a thief, cultist, jobless, womanizer, tout, etc. He lived a carefree life. He did everything he wanted. Nenna, on the other hand, was a pastor's daughter. She has 2 elder sisters and 2 younger brothers. A very intelligent girl with promising future. One bad character that Nenna possessed was that she was a terrible liar. Nenna lies for everything. In fact, lying was her hobby. That was because her parents were too harsh on them. Her dad was a disciplinarian, he always flogged them for every slight mistake. In her father's eye, you must be perfect in whatever you do. This made Nenna and her siblings to master the art of lying. They were so much afraid of their parents. In their street, her family stands out because, not only that they were disciplined, but also beautiful. One day, Pikolo and his gang were smoking when Nenna and her sisters passed. The boys used to call their attention, but they ignored the boys. The boys started to eulogize Nenna's father for raising beautiful and responsible daughters. Thence, serious arguments ensued amongst them, if any of them can win any of the girls over. Pikolo challenged them to bet that he can win one of them and even have sex with her. They all doubted Pikolo and placed their bet. Meanwhile, Nenna had a crush on Ayo, her classmate, and Pikolo knew about it because Ayo was Pikolo's younger cousin. After they placed the bet, Pikolo approached Ayo and began to corrupt his mind. He told Ayo to man up and reciprocate the green light Nenna was giving him. Ayo was a smart but shy boy. He did not think that was the right thing to do, since they were still in secondary school. Pikolo continued to persuade Ayo to befriend Nenna until he accepted because Pikolo told him that any man that shy away from women is a weakling. Ayo started a relationship with Lana. It was an unadulterated relationship until Pikolo stepped in. He told Ayo that any relationship that does not involve intimacy is more like friendship. He told her to try to kiss Nenna. Ayo was able to convince Nenna for a kiss. They went to an uncompleted building to kiss, unknowingly to them Pikolo was stalking them. As they were kissing and smooching, Pikolo was recording them. The next day, Nenna was sent on an errand. Pikolo walked up to her and showed her the video where he recorded her and Ayo. Pikolo threatened to show the video to her parents. Nen went on her knees to plead with him to delete the video. He agreed on the condition that he must sleep with her. She cried and begged him that she has not done it before, but Pikolo has made up his mind. That night, Nenna couldn't sleep. Being that they were all liars, she did not bother to disclose the problem to anyone. The next day, she saw Pikolo close to their house and she became restless. Pikolo signaled her to meet him. Nenna sneakily entered the nearby bush where Pikolo was waiting for her. She begged Pikolo to request another thing that is not sex, but he refused. She was still begging when Pikolo family grabbed her and forced himself on her. He took her picture as evidence to his friends and left. That was how Nenna lost her virginity. The pain of forcefully losing her virginity gripped her, but she managed to get up and clean up. That incident was too heavy for her to disclose to any of her sisters. She didn't even think of her parents because they were afraid of their parents. Pikolo won the bet, but he did not stop. He kept pestering and blackmailing her with both a picture of their sex and a video of her and Eo. Pikolo was so heartless towards her that every time they had sex, he must ensure to take another photo. Then, days turned to weeks and then months. Nenna's mother began to notice some changes on her. Nenna had drastically changed physically. Her mom asked when last she saw her period. Nenna lied that it was the previous month. Her mom was not convinced with that answer, so she took Nenna to the hospital where it was confirmed that Nenna was 5 months pregnant. Despite the pregnancy, her father beat her like a monster. When Nenna told her parents that Pikolo was responsible, they were so disappointed and ashamed to accept that a tout got their daughter pregnant. Nenna was sent out of the house by her father despite her mother's plea. She took her bag to Pikolo's parents. Initially, she was welcomed, but when Pikolo returned from his robbery operation, he was embarrassed to see Nenna in his house. He drove her out immediately. His parents could not question him because his decisions are always final. Nenna was left in the street until Auntie Nana, her dad's church member, decided to take her in. Auntie Nana pleaded with Pikolo severally to take care of Nenna, but Pikolo he kept abusing her. Auntie Nana was not financially stable, so she had no money to take Nenna to the hospital for proper medical care. Nenna never registered for antenatal. She depended on routine drugs from the chemist. Nenna wept every night. She thought her life and future has ended, but with the help of Auntie Nana, she kept holding on. Nenna feels broken whenever she sees Pikolo with different women and also whenever she sees her classmates. So, it was 2 weeks to Nenna's delivery. This time, she was engulfed by anxiety and fear. Out of motherly love, her mom moved in with them after pleading with their father, but he refused. Her mother started taking care of her prior to the week of her delivery. One day, Pikolo was coming back from his robbery operation as usual. He was on high speed on his bike when an oncoming Hilux that wanted to overtake another bus hit him. The driver did not stop, it was hit and run. Pikolo was taken to the hospital because he sustained serious injuries. Some people even guessed that he might die on their way. Luckily, he survived. The accident seriously affected his spinal cord and one of his legs was amputated because it was infected. When Pikolo was discharged from the hospital, he had become paralyzed. He became a burden to his parents because he can't do anything. His parents do everything for him, he can't even stand upright. Meanwhile, Nenna safely gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. When Pikolo heard that Nenna has given birth, he cried his eyes out. He wished he had taken care of her. He regretted his past life and his fierce decision. He pleaded with his parents to beg Nenna to bring his son to him to see at least once. His parents did as he told them. If you are Nenna, will you forgive Pikolo? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel.